ಇಂದಿನ ಸುಂದರ ಸಂಜೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೆರೆದಿರುವ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಬಂಧುಗಳಿಗೆ ಶರಣಾರ್ಥಿ. ಈ ಸಮಾರಂಭದ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷತೆಯನ್ನು ವಹಿಸಿರುವ ಈ ಹೆಸರಾಂತ ವಿಶ್ವೇಶ್ವರಯ್ಯ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯದ ತಾಂತ್ರಿಕ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯದ ಚುಕ್ಕಾಣಿ ಹಿಡಿದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಕೆ.ಸಿದ್ದಪ್ಪನವರೇ ಹಾಗೂ ನನ್ನ ಸನ್ಮಿತ್ರರೇ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಲೈಬ್ರರಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ನ ನಿಜಕ್ಕೂ ಒಬ್ಬ ಸಿಂಹದಂತಿರುವ ಹುಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಬೋರ್ಡ್, ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಲಯನ್ ಅಂತ. ಹಿರಿಯ ನಿಷ್ಣಾವಂತ ಪರಿಣಿತಮತಿಗಳಾದ ಈ ವಿಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಸಾರ್ಥಕ ಸೇವೆಯನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸತಕ್ಕಂಥ, ಕೇವಲ 90 ವರ್ಷದ ದಾಟಿ ಮುಂದೆ ಸಾಗ್ತಾ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ದೃಢಕಾಯದ ಆರೋಗ್ಯವಂತ ಸದಾಶಿವಮೂರ್ತಿಯವರೇ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ನೇತೃತ್ವವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಮ್ಮ ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಮಿತ್ರರಾದ ಹೆಸರಾಂತ ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕರು ಆದಂತಹ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್, ಬರೀ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಲೀಡರು ಕೂಡ. ಈ ವಿಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ, ಲೈಬ್ರರಿ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ವಿಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಕೀರ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಮೆರೆತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವರು ನನ್ನ ಸನ್ಮಿತ್ರರು. ಹಾಗೂ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆರೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಆತ್ಮೀಯ ಮಿತ್ರರೇ, ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ವಿವಿಧ ಭಾಗಗಳಿಂದ ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕಠಿಣ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿನಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ನನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸನ್ಮಿತ್ರರೇ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರಗಳು. I really feel that it is a great privilege to be amidst you on this important occasion when the entire world is being swept by the information technology revolution, and in which India is taking a very, very active role. And this program is dedicated to a very important cause, namely open scholarship and library. The open scholarship is something very unique, and the organizers of this program, the LIS Academy, although it is Library and Information Service Academy, the way it is nicknamed is very, very interesting, and that is, it is standing not for just Library and Information Service, but it is for learning, inspiring and servicing. What a wonderful idea! And this very, very nickname LIS Academy itself is something very unique, and the way the various activities are being carried out by the LIS activity, including the starting of the open journal and conducting several times already this kind of an activity, conferences and other workshops throughout the length and breadth of the country, is something very, very unique. And for this, all this, I very heartily congratulate Professor Kannur and his team of dedicated workers for organizing this important program and also doing it very systematically. And the important partner being the Vishwesvaraya Technological University. And Vishwesvaraya Technological University is really a great leader in the university system of the country, and it has made a mark already in its very short time. Internationally, it has become very well known. Throughout the world, Visvesvaraya Technology has already established its brand, and they are doing, along with the LIS Academy, a very, very unique job which is very much required for the country today. And the other partner, the public library department, under the leadership of Osmani, is there for the last several years, I think more than 15 years? More than a decade at least. Yeah. Why, see, more than 17 years, nearly 2 decades of the service is worth remembering. And all these three put together constitute a very, very important thing, and therefore I congratulate Professor Kwand, along with equally Professor K.Siddappa ji and also Dr. Osmani. I wish that they will continue to serve this cause with a real zeal and more dedication in the years to come, so that the entire community of library science and faculty and the librarians in particular throughout the country derive inspiration from this. And there are so many partners associated with this program, several academicians and a number of publishers. You know, the publisher's role is equally important today in order to make it a really open school concept, meaningful and effective. And they are doing this, and I congratulate all of these the illustrious publishers, and I wish in the days to come they will continue to serve with more and more inspiration deriving from all this one, and the country and the academic community will be benefited immensely. Well, coming to this actual conference, the theme of the conference is very, very interesting. I don't have to go into the details of that because you are all already in the middle of this program. Professor Konnur has not only served you the required literature in this regard, but also he must have drilled you right from morning till now about the importance of this and what the theme is and what the role of the librarians is and what you want to discuss and all that. But still, just for my continuity's sake, I want to touch upon some of the aspects. The fact that this open school is an emerging trend, is something very unique in the sense it is coming up, taking a shape in the period during this information technology is sweeping the country and the world, and in which India is taking a very active role. You know, India missed earlier 2 opportunities. One is Industrial Revolution, and another only partially participated in the second revolution, that is Green Revolution. But as a consequence, India has to pay a heavy price. India would have been a different country by now if only it would have participated in these 2 earlier revolutions. But anyway, circumstances also were like that at that time. It was not a free country to participate in the Industrial Revolution. And people were kept totally ignorant about that Industrial Revolution that was taking place, particularly in European countries, in England. We missed that opportunity. And only to some extent, that Green Revolution was something that took place after we got independence, but still we were not well equipped to participate immediately and actively in that Green Revolution. Although gradually we understood that importance of the Industrial Revolution, and the country was able to participate to some extent slowly, and that itself has benefited immensely. But unlike Unlike those two earlier revolutions, India is participating with full-fledged equipped society. It is. Particularly our youngsters. They have become leaders today in this important revolution, IT revolution. And the technology is continuing to evolve. And the beauty of this information technology revolution is the information is there being used only to educate the people. But you know, if you only educate is not sufficient. They have to become very knowledgeful. It is not adequate if they are knowledgeful. They have to develop wisdom, how to use that knowledge and all that. But you know, where are we as far as this information technology revolution is concerned? IT, information, technology is another aspect, and the together two constitute very important part. And I think some of us, the senior persons here, must have read one poem which I read it in my high school days. A poem by T.S. Eliot. It is a lengthy poem, but I will remind you about, bring to your notice only 2-3 stanzas. He says, in one of the stanzas of that poem, where is education? It is lost, education is lost in information. Why at all we need to educate a person? So that he will develop knowledge. Then, the earlier experience is, now it may be slightly different. Students have developed thinking capacity, but still by and large, education is lost in providing information, because today information explosion is taking place. Whatever that information was there available, knowledge that was available for the last 100 years, now that information, that same knowledge became available in the earlier stages in 50 years, then in 25 years, then in 10 years, now in 1 year, and now it is in 6 months. Whatever we gain today in 6 months, the knowledge that is accumulated, information that is accumulated about the knowledge, is something very unique, explosion. And how to use that information at all? Can anybody grasp that information and develop knowledge? You know, this poem was written about more than 6-7 decades ago, T.S. Eliot's poem. That education is lost in information. Today it is also happening. Well, to some extent, some students may be able to develop knowledge. Then, education. Then how many will develop knowledge? Where is knowledge? Knowledge is lost in education. That is why there was a very popular saying, now I don't know whether it is there or not, among the youngsters, that but only the knowledge is not there, only education is there. All educated people are not knowledgeful. Today the country is suffering like this. That was a popular saying some 25-30 years ago. Country is suffering like this because of educated people. They do not have the knowledge, they only are educated. T.S. Eliot was knowing all this probably. He says, where is knowledge? Knowledge is lost in education. Then why at all we have the knowledge? To develop wisdom, to apply that knowledge. So where is wisdom? It is lost in knowledge. And wisdom is not there. So what is the purpose of providing all this information? That was more so because probably that whatever that knowledge was not disseminated properly. Whatever that education was there, it is not adequate. It is lost in information. Today also by and large that may be happening. But this open school concept is something unique. So the knowledge should free flow, information should flow freely and openly. When that happens, if that is not happening, okay, in order that happens, what we should do, that is one of the objectives of this conference. What that is to discuss. Professor Kannur and his team have provided a platform to discuss that. At this juncture, I must remind you, bring to your remembrance one important experiment that was conducted about a decade ago, when the information technology was beginning to take place in a big way. That experiment was conducted in Bombay, the so-called dark room experiment. What is a dark room experiment? In a slum area, a group of computer experts set up few computers. Nobody were there to guide them, to educate them, to instruct them how to use and all that, what to learn and all that. And when somebody did, so they have to switch on the computer themselves, do this, that or anything like that, and get some information. So information was available for them. Nobody were there to instruct anything about anything. And they are totally illiterate. Slum area means illiterate children, illiterate youngsters, illiterate men, illiterate women and all that. But in a couple of months, that information free flow was such, open information was available for them. The youngsters learn so many things from that. Not only how to use the computer, but how to disseminate the information there, get knowledge, educated, get knowledge, and also get wisdom. That is unique. It is published in an international journal, considering its uniqueness. So, without any this thing, when information could be made available freely and it can be made to flow openly, the benefits are something unique, we cannot explain. And that kind of an approach, how to do that with some specified goals. They don't have any goals. So they learn whatever they want and all that. They disseminated that knowledge among the others who are not using those computers and all that. Not everybody can go there and use, but whoever have learned, they used to share with their senior people at home and all that, and the people's attitude, their culture, everything, lifestyle, everything got changed. They made a detailed investigation on this aspect. So here, when specific goals are there, with different persons have different goals, objectives. So they have to realize, for them, more than anything else, they need information, data, results of research, and all that free. If you make all these things a free flow like thing, then things will be different. And that is what Professor Kannur and his team is aimed at the time of organizing this conference. And that is what VTU has initiated the steps to provide that kind of an environment to the students here, to learn, to make them learn. It is not adequate that is provided there, but they should be properly guided. So, Sir Vishweshwaraya, today only I came to know when Dr. K.Siddappa gave me the greeting card of the New Year. There is a beautiful statement in that. There are so many wonderful statements of Sir Vishweshwaraya, who is a great visionary and contributed immensely for the development of our Kannada region, entire Karnataka. Proud son of the soil. How do you tell it? Education is sovereign solution for all the economic ills of the. So all the sovereign solution for the economic ills, all economic ills. And poverty is one of the greatest thing that our country is facing, and Karnataka is no exception. And he has contributed immensely through that. In fact, one of the first university, engineering college in the country is the Southern Vishweshwaraya College at Bangalore. University Vishweshwaraya Institute of Technology. One of the first university in the country is Mysore University. Vishweshwaraya established it. One of the first banks is State Bank of Mysore, established by him. One of the first steel factories was at Bhadravati. Saram Vishweshwaraya started it. How many things? And one of the first dams in the country was Tungabhadra Kaveri Dam at Mysore. How many things that great visionary has done it. And for all this, he realized education is the primary sovereign solution. So he attached so much of significance. And today, that when you say education is the solution for all this, now you have to add an adjective. Digital education is the solution for all our things to make open schools successful. And that initiation has already been taken up by the Vishweshwaraya Technological University, which is a very big fitting institution to initiate this kind of thing. So I congratulate heartily for this move, important move. Well, there are so many challenges, definitely. A solution, importances are there for the open school, and challenges are also there. Now, one of the things is open school, conceptually, there are so many benefits. And you are going to discuss, you may be better aware of than me. I don't want to go into the details. But challenges are also equally more. And very serious also. But when I use issues, I don't say difficulties, challenges. Challenges means if you are able to address the challenges, you can convert each one of these challenges into opportunities. For example, inclusivity. So that means one should participate in this open school concept revolution. One should, every section of the society should participate, not just the students studying here in the university or colleges and things like that. For every section of the society, this open school concept is required. They need to participate in this. How they can participate, how to include all them. That inclusivity issue is a very serious issue. And thus inclusivity issue, if we can address, then that challenge will become a great opportunity for the entire country. And that again, just now it was opened, so many new things that we are just now, Dr.K. Siddappa inaugurated, that initiatives of Vishweshwaraya Technological University. They are all meant for what? The students to get prepared. Tomorrow, it is these students who have to make this open school concept a reality, effective, and all that. And in order they do that, they become equipped to do that, they need to understand so many associated things, not just one important thing is digital. Digital technology they should become familiar. And once they acquire that, this one, there are so many ways, but equally so, they have to understand the culture of different societies. If you don't understand, if you just force them to do that, they will not be able to participate actively. So you have to appropriately deal with them, and dealing that then means you have to understand what their background is, their culture is, and things like that. And it is a combination of old and new technology. And this new technology is getting every day new. Today's technology will not be new technology tomorrow. It is a continuously evolving technology. And for that, the students' mind should become familiar. They should be able to grasp tomorrow, they should be able to understand it and then disseminate that. So it is a very, very involved procedure, and I cannot find, nobody can individually find solution. That's why this conference, this platform is being organized for you to contribute. Each one of you should contribute your ideas. Think, not only here during the today and tomorrow sessions, but even after going there, back to your place, you have to continue to think and what you can contribute, how you can contribute, how you can think in an innovative way in order to make it a reality and more effective. So all these things and the discussions that you are going to have today and tomorrow are going to be very, very useful in that context. And this kind of a thing, the open school concept, which is nothing but getting ideas from everybody and disseminating those ideas in a very effective way, freely and openly to all the others. This concept, what is the objective of this concept? To make the society knowledgeful, an advanced knowledge society. Is it for the first time this advanced knowledge society concept is being evolved? I don't know about other countries, but in our country, this was there several thousands of years ago in our country. Our ancient civilization, the ancient civilization of our country was in fact very well known for this advanced knowledge society culture right at that time, several thousands of years ago. How they were able to reach at it? They have had this open school concept. Rig Veda says so many new things there, innovative things are there. One important thing that is pertinent to this open school concept is there is a quotation, let noble thoughts come to us from all sides. Noble thoughts, they wanted them to come from all sides, all directions. And this open school concept is nothing but that. And as a result, how the society was there, they were able to contribute original things to every discipline of the knowledge. And whether it is physics, astrophysics, astronomy, mathematics, chemistry, engineering field, and other medical field, in every field there were original contributions. Even today they are being recognized as very, very significant original contributions. In fact, the number system, including zero, was the one that is contributed by our ancient thinkers. Knowing all this, we have forgotten all those things. Westerners make us remember all these things. Albert Einstein said on one occasion, you know what he said? I have the greatest regard for India and Indian people. Firstly, for their contribution of traditional knowledge, treasure of traditional knowledge to the world. Treasure of traditional knowledge to the world was contributed in our ancient society, our ancient thinkers, in every aspect, in every field. And secondly, for their contribution of number system, including zero, without which none of the discoveries and inventions we witness today would have been possible. That is not I am saying, Einstein had said it. All-time great scientist, Einstein. So that is the kind of a thinkers we have had in the earlier ancient days. And this noble, long before these things were discovered, this concept of let noble thoughts come to us from all directions was there. That was the basic thing. And today, this open school is nothing but that kind of a concept. So many things are involved here. And our Indian minds are today considered as the best in the world. Our young Indians have established it. Whether it is in India or in any other country, Indian minds are proved to be the best minds in the world. Why? How it happened? It is because without our knowledge, it is there embedded in our blood. The only thing is we lack, everybody cannot think because of the various reasons. One of the basic thing is there is no proper environment. You know, Abdul Kalam had once said, well, he used to say several times, by 2020 India will become a superpower. In 2010 somebody asked him, sir, you have been advocating that India is becoming superpower, only few years are left. Why it is not happening? There are no signs. No, it will happen. It is becoming slow because of not the inability of our young people, young minds, but because of improper environment. What do you mean by that? He said, the reporters asked him, no, we have two native characters which come in the way of that way of happening. What are those two native characters? One is there is no appreciation for anybody doing good work. There is no recognition and appreciation. So everybody thinks there is no recognition, but whether you do it or not, why we should bother? So that kind of an encouraging environment is not there. Secondly, another native character, he said, Abdul Kalam, was there is no way to punish anybody who do not do good work, who do undesirable things. So with the result, what is happening? They can do anything and they get escape. So on the one hand, the wrong things are going on and right things are becoming less and less. But in spite of that, our country is recognized one of the emerging superpower. If not in 2020, in another decade or so, definitely it will become a superpower. Only thing is, the environment should be that kind of an environment. VTU and LIS Academy, along with Public Library and other organizations, are trying to contribute for that kind of an environment. Okay. So it is really a very appropriate time, and another great thing that we should remember is Nalanda University and the library role there in that Nalanda University. You know, Nalanda University, we should remember all the time, but at this juncture I want you to remember, bringing it to your notice because of two things. One is, that was the first university in the world established in 5th century. Before that, there was so much of knowledge generation that is there. Wisdom was there. It was an advanced knowledge society. But formally an university concept was in full swing in Nalanda. And students from various other countries, starting from Japan, Korea, China, and other countries, Indonesia, and other countries were there. Not only the students, even scholars who served as faculty members were there in that. There were more than 10,000 students in Nalanda University. And more than that, and all disciplines, multidisciplinary concept also was there right in Nalanda University. The students were having access to all education. And library there particularly, a huge building with 90 lakhs of volumes, 90 lakhs, a 9-storied building. And this was flourishing for 600 years in spite of so many attacks by various other country people. And finally in 12th century, everything was burned by Muhammad bin Khilji. The university was totally destroyed, and library was burned for more than 6 months, it seems. Imagine. And there, it was an open source. The library there was open source. Even other country people have access for this. And that kind of a thing contributed immensely for our enriching of the society, the improvement of lifestyle, everything. And today, that is now being taking place in a new forum through IT revolution on the one hand and the efforts of the illustrious people, and where Karnataka all the time was really in the forefront. Our Karnataka was leading country in the modern India as far as library and information service was concerned. Dr. Ranganath was the giant legendary in this field in our country. And today also this is taking place in this state and it's spreading throughout the country and all that. So that way we have this blend of, in our country, blend of old and new technology and old culture and tradition. And therefore whatever issue may be there, one can always find solution, and what kind of a solution is the best suited, you have to find. You have to be librarian's role, library professional's role, and associated personalities' role, the organization's role is very significant in this. And only in order to, so with this kind of a thing, I am sure the initiatives taken by the VTU and the LIS Academy along with Public Library and all other organizations is going to be meaningful and successful, and I am sure this conference will also arrive at its goals and will be able to successfully reach and find appropriate solutions for all the challenges and convert those challenges into opportunities. And I'm sure this conference that way is going to be successful, and I wish you all a very successful and meaningful discussion today and tomorrow. And only I will conclude this with an important this thing to inspire you further, and that is, you know, in Canada, for those of you who have come from other states, there was a very famous poet in the modern times, D.V.G. He has written some kaggas, small poems covering all aspects of living and educational aspect. And in one of the aspects he says, Vasa chiguru, halaberu, kudiralu marasobabu. New things, new technologies and old cultures, like that combination. If there is two, the tree will look beautiful only when the roots are although they are very old, they have to be strong, and they are blooming flowers and all that. If it is there, it will look beautiful and all that, like that he says. And secondly, Vasayukti Ayatattva Dodagude Dharma. You know, Vasayukti means new plans, new initiatives combined with old culture. That becomes totally a very spiritual aspect, truly spiritual aspect. And ಋಷಿ ವಾಕ್ಯದೊಡನೆ ಕಲೆ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಮೇಳವಿಸೆ ಜಸವು ಜನಜೀವನಕ್ಕೆ ಮಂಕುತಿಮ್ಮ. That means the translation goes to say that your new technology, innovation technology, and the old tradition, if you compare, they are combined. Old tradition means in the form of whatever the spiritual leaders have said, Vivekananda maybe, and other spiritual leaders. So Rishi Vakyadodane Vijnana Kala Mela we say, if all these things combine, then the technology and gifts will bring happiness to the society at large. Jasavu Jana Jeevanake and all that. So that kind of a thing is there all the time in our country, and that is another reason why our culture, our tradition, our technology, our young minds are becoming more and more powerful today than ever before. And therefore, I am sure this conference also, with what combination of young and old, will develop definitely something in a way, unique way, to provide a new path to the new concept, evolving concept in the evolving technology period, namely the open school. Thank you.